Hi, are you interested in making a beautiful center gather veil for your wedding? Well, you have come to the right place. I'm Dorene Vandermeer. I'm a bridal milliner, and I'm going to share all my trade secrets with you, and one of them is how to make an advanced cut called the center gather. This is a circle veil, and it is absolutely stunning in both fingertip, elbow, and cathedral. The supplies are going to be in the description below, so why don't we get started making a circle veil? All right, I'm going to show you how to make a 36-inch circle veil that's called a center gather. Center gather veils are one of my most demanded veils. I do them more frequently than any other cut. And I think the reason for that is you get a blusher, but you don't have all the gathers. Because the gather it's just barely in the center, it allows the edge to go down and look almost like air on the bride's head. It's just a beautiful cut. I measured out about 84 inches of netting. Now, the reason you have to go over is we're going to be cutting a circle. In order to do that, you need extra material. So it does eat up your veiling, but that's okay. You will just basically get everything lined up. Keep in mind, the folded area is the middle of the veil. And now we're going to the edge of the veil, and we're going to meet at the edge of the veil over here. Basically, what we're going to be making is a little triangle. All right, there's your triangle, the start of one. Go ahead and do the old-fashioned flick to get things lined up. With the center here, I'm now at the edge, so this is all going to be cut off right here. All right, so there's your triangle, and this right here is your selvage. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your triangle, you're going to flip it, and now you're going to flip it again. So now you're making an even tighter triangle. All right, and here's the edge of the veil that we're now developing. We're developing a circle right now. And you're gonna fold that one more time. Let's do it this way so you can see it. I can fold it the other way where I don't see it. I'm gonna let you see what I'm doing here. Basically, we're gonna fold it over one more time. This is where the comb is going. And these are basically the edges that are going to be only at the bottom because it's a big circle. Now, if you look, here's where we want to cut. Hopefully it all lines up perfectly. And what we're looking for is a 36-inch cut, and we are on the mark. We'll have a little extra there. And because there is layers and layers and layers here, you're gonna have to apply a lot of pressure with a sharp rotary, and you're gonna go straight across all of that netting. Again, this is gold. Don't throw this away. You can use it for other projects. That's gold right there. Now, if all things went well, we have a beautiful circle. And we do. I can't lay it out for you, but this is a circle. Isn't this great? Just like that. You can go back in and take care of any corners that produced. All right, so now if you were going to put an edge on this, is the time you would iron it out and go ahead and put your edge on, and then we would come back here and you will then take your big circle, get it all lined up. I find it easier to hold the edges and flick so we can determine the center. And then fold in half again. All right, so we folded it in half, and now we know that the center of the veil is right here. This is where we're going to place the comb. All right, so this is the second most complicated part of the center gather, is how to put it on a comb. So now we have it on, we know where the center is right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna measure. We're gonna do 6 inches, which will then be 12 inches. And that is going to give this beautiful angel cut on the sides, because we're gonna gather just a little bit in the middle. The edges will fall to the side, but also have a little ripply effect. So I have my quilter's tape, and what I'm going to do, there's multiple ways you can do this, is I'm going to put a little mark here and a little mark here. This now shows me that's where my veil is going to be gathered. Now I'm going to put a pin right here, attaching it to that little piece of tape. I'm going to move it, holding it, and I'm going to put another one right here. Now we have our area that we're going to gather. Super easy, right? Now what you're going to do is take invisible thread, and from this point right here where it's folded, I'm going to make a little knot. I'm going to lock it. All right, we have that locked, and with your hand you're going to do a quick gather. This is not necessary to do it on the machine. You can if you'd like. but not necessary. In my tutorial, Let's Gather Together, you can see all different ways to gather other veils, but a center gather has its own unique gather, thus the center gather. All right, so we just got your little hand gather in there. Now with your hand gather, you're gonna take your comb and you're gonna just kind of mark where you want that to be, which is right about there, and I'm going to make another knot. I'm gonna lock that stitch. I always feel like a cheerleader when I say lock that stitch. All right, stitch is locked. Now what do we do? Easy. Here's the gymnastics for the brain. This comb is going to be under the veil. And I actually do beading on center gathers on the other side, but I'm not gonna do that in this tutorial, but I will explain how you do it. How's that? So the next step is going to be taking this comb and putting it on here. Now keep in mind, this comb is on the inside of the veil. So if you have a ribbon edge on or something, you want to be mindful of which direction you're doing your comb. Since this is a cut edge veil right now, I don't have to really mind if it's this way or the other way. It doesn't matter because I know this is going to go on the bride's head this way, and the blusher is going to go over this way, and the comb is hidden inside, just like that. Beautiful. It just hides on the top of the head. There's not a lot of gathers. It's just perfect. All right. Now I'm going to take and pull off that little piece of tape and my pin, and I'm going to go ahead, and you don't have to use the tape, but I find the needles don't stay in the netting if I don't put the tape there. So it's just a quick little thickening barrier, I guess. And then you're just going to quickly go ahead and do a nice lock stitch on about every other. In case you don't know how to lock invisible thread, when you go this direction, that doesn't lock that knot. You have to go that direction and then it locks it. It's just a little technique. All right, let's take out this pin. All right, and to finish the bottom of this goes under the bride's head. You don't see it, but I like to finish my veils pretty inside and out. I just put a little bead of glue, and then I have this netting lace. I'm going to cut a little piece of netting lace off, just a small slice, and then I lay that in there like so to kind of cap off, and that just kind of gives you another layer there, and I'm just going to snip it off. And since we're done, we can take off our needle, and your center gather is born. Now when the bride puts that in her hair, this is the top of the veil, and this is the blusher, and this is the back of the veil. It's one big, beautiful circle, and that is how you do a center gather. Now, there's also, if you want, and I love doing this, at the very top of this, with the veil this way, since this is the top of the veil, this is a hidden comb, I will sometimes do a little seed beads or a little Swarovski pearls or whatever, if that's what the bride wants. That way it kind of even finishes it even further. And when you do that, just make sure you get all of this lined up, and then just hand bead right over the top of that. And that's just another look you can do, but you don't have to. It's hidden. No one even sees the comb, and it just sinks in. It's great in all kinds of hairstyles. It's just lovely. Stay tuned to the very end as I show you some photographs of models and brides wearing a center gather veil. Well, there you go. You did it. You made a beautiful center gather veil, and you even put it on a comb. This veil is transferable in all lengths and is an absolute showstopper in any wedding. If you would like to put a different edge on this veil, check out this tutorial on all kinds of edges to put on your veil. See you later, veil makers.